This is Paul Roberts of Conscious Counseling 101. This is Jax. And it's time to save the world. All you have to do is make people realize that no matter what they come up with, they're never going to be able to do any more than eat, drink, be merry, sleep, start the whole cycle over again, protect one another, harm one another, build incredible things, work incredible science feats, and just keep it all going. So there's no way to save the world if you just keep it all going. That's the best you can hope for. So why do we want to save the world? Because we're worried about what would happen if we weren't here. And we think, we got to keep that going. But while we're living, we see things fall apart. We see people treat one another poorly so they can gain over them. When it gets to the point of we're going to fight one another so that we can have something they have or something that we want, you have to wonder, why do we want to perpetuate that? We can't change the fact that we need to eat every day. We can't change the fact that we're volatile. We feel pleasure and pain. We can change our design. We can put microchips inside of us and make us think better or differently. We can do body enhancements and things like that. Use drugs. Different things that help us to experience things in a different way. But there is no different way in this physical realm. This physical realm is exactly set up for what it is, with the limitations involved. You'll never get past those limitations. You'll delude yourself to think that somehow there's more to it than that. But you'll be wrong. So then you say to yourself, what kind of morality do I have if what I do is just try to keep that going? What kind of morality is that? If you can't do it and do it while you're doing it for others, you're not worthy of having it done for yourself. This is the message of Jesus. The message of Jesus is just simple. The highest commandment that he gave at the Last Supper was to love one another as yourself through his teachings, to do unto those others as you would have done. I've heard people say, I gave somebody orange juice with pulp in it one time because I liked that, and they didn't like the pulp. You can't take Jesus' teachings literally, and you can't say that that's a great thing to do. He didn't say, give everybody else what you want. He said, do unto others in love as you would want done to you. If you're giving in love through his teachings, you're not just trying to make them happy. They need to learn to find happiness in this world themselves. You can't do that. What are you really doing? You're saying, I need something. I hope you give it to me. You need something? So I'm going to give it to you. That's where it ends. If the person says it's got pulp and I didn't want pulp, they're not being gracious. You need to feel sorry for them because they don't understand yet what you were trying to do. But if you then take that as a negative and use that as a sign as to what you're doing is wrong somehow, then you've wasted yourself because you're not doing it in love. You're doing it to get a sign back because your faith is limited. You're doing it not because you love them and want the best for them. You're doing it because you want some feedback back so that you can be more confident. You're not self-reliant. You require input from others to know that you've loved and done what Jesus has asked. I have lived a long life. I'm over 50. I've raised my children. I don't have vices and psychological and social problems. I render advice to people that would like to have a balanced life. And I've finished what I planned to do. The next phase of my life is going to be about deciding how I can help others, deciding what I can do while I'm helping others, deciding how I can live. One of the things I know is when I look into the world, and I have this view. When I look out into the world and onto the television and onto the internet, I see people that are lost and troubled and unbalanced. I'm not lost and troubled and unbalanced. So I say logically to myself, if you're not what you see, you must do with your life purpose for what you see and give to them what you have to offer. And so my purpose is to try to do what I can to realize and fulfill that purpose. A lot of people don't want your help. A lot of people don't think they need your help. So how do you go about life? I have faith that I'm supposed to do this because it makes logical sense if others are in need that I go and do what I can for them to help them with what I have so that they may overcome what they have, which is showing to be lacking. The trick is how to get them to want you to do that or receive you. I have found for 15 years that that's the hardest thing. When you have a simple need, like this little doggy, you feed him, you love him, you care for him. A lot of people know how to take care of a pet that way, but they can't take care of their own lives. My goal in Conscious Counseling 101 is to help people understand perspectives and balance so that they can understand the greater concepts of what they're going through in this world. Through Jesus' teachings, we can find those things. They're clear and obvious, but many people do not find them. The straight road is very, very narrow. Very few find it, Jesus says. Why is that? Because all the things that be in this world point toward how to use the world for the satisfaction. Even the religions, even those that are of Jesus' so-called teachings. The enemy is man's point of view, showing you not what you need to know or what you should know and it should be obvious, but man's tripping you up, making you like them. Through Conscious Counseling 101, my goal is to help you to not think that you have to listen to man's teachings. You say to yourself, well, you're listening to me. Only listen to me so far as you know that I'm telling you not to listen to man's teachings. Then go to yourself, separate yourself from all that you see outside until you can say, as I have, many people are messed up. I'd like to help them. Once you become so troubled by your inability to do that to the level you'd like to, you've arrived. What you do with that then is up to you. My goal is to get you to that point where you're seeing the troubles of mankind. You're wanting to help, and that's what you think about every day. One of the things you do automatically is you apply that help to yourself. That's what conscious counseling is. Understanding what all things are, making the right choice, and then putting all your life energies into understanding the choice that you made and what it means. When that is your perpetual prayer in Jesus' teachings and love every day, no matter how long you live, you've arrived. Now the goal is to offer that to others. Paul Roberts of Conscious Counseling 101 and Jaxie Boy, ready for the next phase of our life to begin as our son enters college and they have more time on our hands. We're going to do what we can to help that world, aren't we? Yes, we are. If that's what we all did, wouldn't we save the world? If we all did that, yeah. The trick is probably not everybody is going to. And that's how it gets hard. Okay, Jaxie Boy, you go have some breakfast and I'll say goodbye to these fine folks.